Hi, welcome to Behind the Scenes with Axiom Medical. I'm your host, Jason McWhinney. If this is your first time joining us, this is a bi-weekly series where we go behind the scenes and we talk to people in Axiom that make the company tick. I've interviewed various people through various departments all across the company, from the vaccine team to our marketing team to our legal team, all over the place, to our HR team. We've interviewed a lot of different people. I'm very excited to bring you today's guest, Anthem Ash. Anthem, how are you?
Hi, how's it going? Pretty good.
Fantastic. Well, if you could please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, I'm Anthem Ash. I am an HSA nurse tester here at Axiom. Kind of, where do you need me? I'll go, I'll figure it out kind of guy.
That's great. And how long have you been with Axiom?
Oh, okay. So I believe it's been a year and a half now. I joined in November 2020.
Awesome. So can you explain to the people out there what exactly your role is currently? Because I know it, as we mentioned, we were talking before the show that people at Axiom tend to move about wherever they're needed, and you've had different roles. So let us know what your current role is.
My current role is HSA Health and Safety Assistant. Whenever they have a production or a TV show, or they just need someone else, just kind of run precept or do all the things at once. That like when you have companies like Tractor Supply or TV production, sometimes you start as the one thing and then you just evolve if you're willing to be adaptable. And if I'm not adaptable, I guess you have to be at Axiom. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So with your role, you tend to travel quite a bit, I take it?
Yeah, actually, it's one of the fun parts. I started off, and it was Sarah Honeycutt. She's the one who hired me. She brought me in. She introduced me to TJ, and was just like, "Can you get to Kentucky?" It was the last month of school, and sure, yeah, we can. And then it just kind of evolved into whether it's a TV, you're staying there a little longer. If it's a film, then it's like a short-lived 3-month skit. But then if it's something like Tractor Supply, then you're there for however long they need to train the new person, or just kind of set up and schmooze all the right way. Because you have to kind of get there and also introduce yourself to the client and their teams so everybody feels comfortable, and then train whoever's coming in so they feel comfortable.
Having been out to California and visited some of the on-site stuff that we do, for people that aren't familiar with movie and TV productions, especially like on a first day, everyone's kind of thrown together and no one knows each other. And there's a lot of like implied trust that has to happen for the production team and us and whatnot. And having met a lot of the people in California that have done it, I can say that whatever system we had in place by the managers out there, you guys do a great job just jumping into situations. So are there any like strange, without giving any of the secret sauce or any of the client names away, have you, what was it like on your first day or your first week or your first on-site thing?
It was actually illuminating. Getting thrown into something, your first instinct is to try to take everything, do it all, because you're not really sure who's going to have your back or whatever. And suddenly you meet people like Justin Beltran or Pepper Jackson, who just have it without a question. Axiom does a really good job of just kind of pairing you up with other people that are also just as eager to get stuff done. I like to say it's for a very selfish reason. It's like, I just want to get it done so that we don't have to worry, but I want to get it done and I don't have to second guess. This person's scanning, this person's running tests, everybody just takes a role, which is amazing, especially when you get something so big as like a TV show or a production. You have so many things happening at once. Last production, it was a completely vaccinated set. So there's another hat you got to put on, because it's just, you need to now protect the production, the client, each other, because we are now the barrier to keep people from just walking on set, from also just coming in and contaminating the whole set. And that's a whole, like a month loss of, production and money and just everything that needs to get done, And we're talking millions of dollars. So you want to make sure that everybody is, keeping their end of the wall up. And I've never feared, or maybe that first couple of days when you're there, you kind of fear, oh my God, is it just me? And then quickly, everybody just kind of jumps into place, which is amazing. I've never met a group of leaders who think about personalities and pairing us up together that way so easily, to the point where we just mesh well. you know?
Yeah, that's great. And like I said, I've been on sets here in Texas. I've been on sets in California. Each one is different and presents its own challenges. Let's say, some sets are smaller and everyone knows each other. Some sets are larger and there's multiple different production type companies in place and different managers and supervisors and whatnot. And so it's a tightrope that you guys have to watch. I always have to walk to make sure that everything's okay.
Tightrope on dental floss is what that is.
That's a good one. Tightrope on dental floss. That's a great way of explaining it. So how did you come to, you mentioned Sarah Honeycutt, shout out to Sarah, hired you, but how did you end up coming to Axiom Medical? What was your journey prior to that?
Prior to that, I worked in production. I've always been a doodler. I do kids books. I've just now evolved into Clip Studio Paint to help create things digitally. But that's what I did. I just wanted to make books for kids. I knew I wanted to go into the medical field. I knew that nursing school would help me pay for medical school. So I just started that process. Before that, I was a casting assistant in Los Angeles. And prior to that, I was a script reader in New York for a couple of production studios. So I'm not what is the word I'm trying to find here? I'm not, it's that's something different for me to be part of productions, but it was always so cool to watch the magic on this end, but that was just it. Just kind of just doodling, getting to know my neighbor one day. We were just laughing and she brought us cookies and we brought over the same thing. And so she was just like one day, hey, can you work this month? I need someone to come with me to Kentucky. And after that, Axiom just kept finding place for me, and to the point where he just evolved to where I'm at right now.
That's great. And that's Sarah, who was your neighbor?
Sarah was my neighbor, neighbor. Wow. We had just moved in and it was great. They had dogs. We have a jerk of a dog named Ruger who I love, but you're always worried because he's like a big barrel of energy. He's me as a dog. So he just comes running at you. And sometimes you see this giant black dog running at you. You don't know what he's going to do. And they immediately, both her dogs just lay down, and they just they knew that he was a nice dog. But if you run from a dog, that's when things start kind of feeling iffy, right? But after that, I was like, oh my God, thank God. Because you never know, Right. And he jumps and So after that, I was in love with them. It's Sarah, Honeycutt, and Morgan. They were roommates, I believe. But that was after that. It was kismet. Whatever she suggested, I would definitely work for Axiom if you work for Axiom.
Well, that's fantastic. We had met just prior to this call, but your reputation precedes you, so it's nice to finally sit down and talk to you. I know Christy, who I've interviewed in the past, is a big fan of yours, and just was so happy that we were able to interview you today.
Christy is my spirit animal. I tell her that all the time. Just her gung ho. Just even before this, I told her I was like, I'm a little nervous, and the first thing she said to you is, "Just be you." And my message back was, "Everybody else is taken."
That's great.
And that's the laugh I needed, and suddenly I'm golden. Suddenly I was able to relax. So not this was going to be really worrying, but
Right. Well, Christy said Anthem is the best. There you go,
Christy.
So where in the world are you? You don't necessarily, if you don't want to share your exact location, where do you call home? I know you're not in home right now, but where do you call home?
Right now I'm in Maryland, but home is in Houston, Texas, actually just down the street from our Woodlands office, which also was another selling point to Axiom. But Houston, Texas. I think I started off in San Antonio, and then as soon as I could get out of Texas and explore the world, I did. And then, wouldn't you know it, the universe has its way of finding you right back home to Houston, where I met my husband, and then my luck, I marry a cowboy, and I moved to Houston, Texas.
That's hilarious. But are you originally from Texas?
My parents were in San Antonio. I was born there and then sent away to England, and just kind of to be with other family members, and then brought back to San Antonio because I really wanted to go to high school in San Antonio, because it was a Northeast School of the Arts. It was a magnet school, and I really, really wanted to audition as a dance major, to my father's big disappointment. He was like, "There's a good football team there." I'm like, "But a dance team is amazing." And after that, I just kind of stayed in Texas till I turned 18, and then Chicago, LA, New York, LA, then Houston.
Right, all over the place. That's
All
fantastic.
over the place.
You speak of dance, and the last person I interviewed, Dom, our graphic designer, he's a dancer as well. Although he will never ever openly share that with you. But when he applied for us, we did some snooping. We found some videos of Dom dancing. He's fantastic. So you can
Did you just
share
out him
stories.
right now? Is that what you're saying? Did you just
No, we talked about it last interview with him. His dancing ability.
Yeah, I can't not move to stuff. I just, if I'm thinking or I'm processing stuff or I'm staging the house or I'm trying to doodle something, I have to keep the board up high so that I can keep moving around it. And just whatever music you tell me, I'll just plug it on my headphones and just trying to see where that takes me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we mentioned dance. Were you accepted at that school in San Antonio?
I did actually. My one bragging right, it was the first magnet school in San Antonio, and then I got accepted into the dance program, and then I had to move back home to take care of my mom for a bit, and wasn't able to. My sophomore year, wasn't able to stay in that school, but I got into another program called Accelerated Learning Program, which was I guess it was meant for pregnant moms to graduate early. But there was no stipend as to who could apply. So I did, and I was able to take all my core classes. So once I was done, I technically was graduated. I applied back to the school after that year, and I was able to go back as a quadruple major. So it's creative writing, musical theater, dance, creative writing, musical theater, dance, and visual arts. Yeah. So I was able to, my senior year was a great year of just all art classes, which was kind of amazing.
So you are the rare quadruple threat.
Quadruple threat. I'll brag. Other people may think that.
That's great. So let's say you're not at work, you're out doing your own thing. Well, what does Anthem like to do on his day off or his free time?
Oh man, doodling. I keep calling it doodling. It's my sketches. I have these stories in my head, I guess from all those years of writing, reading scripts, just of how storylines go. So I just start doodling these stories. First kids book, Everybody Loves You, Bella. I just kept trying to figure out little ways of telling stories for the kid who's misunderstood. You know, Everybody Loves Bella is a story about a troll and a tooth fairy who have a kid and they don't get along and they're not living together anymore. But everybody still loves Bella, you know? And this next doodle that I've been working on is Pepito Gallito, which is a rooster who glows, and everybody keeps trying to tone him down or to make him stop glowing. So let's see where that story ends. You know,
never stop glowing. That's
never stop glowing.
No, that's the meaning right now. So any plans in the near future? You guys going on any trips or anything like that?
Oh man, so we're taking a family trip. It's kind of a joint, my birthday, my husband's birthday, to Denver. We're going skiing. It's my second time skiing, so pray for me. And then that's just it. You know, the last trip we did was my 40th, which is September. And I have a huge shout out to Axiom because we were able to enjoy, instead of being a college student and you're struggling, immediately I was able to enjoy a 40th birthday and kind of a hard flex. One thing I wanted was matching Tiffany rings. I don't know why, I just wanted to go. And so that's exactly what we did. We got matching rings from Tiffany's, and it was kind of, I actually put it on Twitter. Thanks, Axiom, because we were able to pick them out and sit there and drink champagne and just enjoy a moment and know that, wow, we can do this. This is possible, and you're not worried and you're not stressed about working, bartending or whatever else I was doing before. You come home and relax, and it wasn't like you broke the bank or worried about bosses being mad that you took the weekend off.
That's great. I take it you guys are newlywed?
2019 is when we got married. Okay. He made me wait 4 years. That was his. He and my brother were competing. My brother waited, I think, 9 years to propose. So the joke was that he was going to wait 10. Um, yeah, I don't think. I
That's
think he
funny.
saw it in my face that that wasn't going to work out.
That's funny. I just got married myself last year, December 26th. So still in that
Congratulations.
newlywed. But oh, thank you very much.
December 26th?
Yeah, December 26th. Boxing Day, as we call it in Canada.
Boxing Day. Yeah. Everybody's free return. Quick return day. December
Yeah,
26th.
for sure. It's like Black Friday.
It is Black Friday.
Yeah. A word of advice for someone who grew up skiing: it's all in the hips, it's all in the knees.
So all hips and all. Well, the first time I went down, I just rode the brake a lot. Like I just kept like trying to quickly stop because once I picked up speed, it just kind of it can get like intimidating because you don't see the bottom. You just kind of see the slope that's in front of you, and then it kind of whatever it is. It just I have to just get out of my head for that. But it's exhilarating. It's fun. I don't think I'm going to graduate past the blue yet. Let's just say there and then go back to green for a minute.
Yeah, I would not suggest a black diamond or a double black diamond.
Oh no, I accidentally got first part was a black diamond when I got off the slope. It said right green, but it was like right immediately left, and I did not. And I went down, and there's a huge panic that happens because that slope is like this. So
right.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and everybody knows me from like I was at Dartmouth for a little bit. I had a Brooke Kilpatrick. Hey Brooke, gave me a snowboard, and that's all I was doing in front of the hotel. There was like a slight slope, and I was like, let me just try to see if I can make this work. Just keep going back down. Those are the things you do when you're when you're off at Axiom. Find fun things to do.
That's funny. I one of the last times I went skiing was north of Montreal, and I went down to Black Diamond, and I wanted to go off into the trees. So I went off into the trees. There was this little ledge that was overlooking the village, and I just took my skis off and sat there. And then I heard like a behind me and like footsteps, and I didn't turn around. I thought if I stay still, whatever's behind me is not gonna do anything. In north of Montreal, it's Mont Tremblant, so the ski patrol speak English and French. So if they say anything to you, they'll come up to you, they'll say French. So a ski patrol came skiing up. I could hear the skis. So I turned around, and the guy says, "Hey, did you see that moose that just came through here?" I was like, "What? No, I did not." No, I played still.
Stood still. Yeah. Those, I mean, I know they're huge. I mean, just the head is intimidating, and they're pretty tough, right?
Oh yeah, they're a brick wall. I mean, they're just if you ran into them, you would probably like get knocked unconscious.
Yeah. I'm not. That's how I feel about the water. Whenever I'm kayaking or something else, I don't know why, but that's their world, and they can swim quickly in it. I cannot. So I'll just stay floating on whatever this is, and it never fails. Wherever I'm at, there's always something big that kind of bumps the boat or whatever else, and it just sea lions just enough to just get me back onshore. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So we talked about trips. What's the future hold for you? What are you hoping to get out of Axiom? Where are you hoping to go?
I've been watching people like Connor Trotter. Hey Connor, kind of got my feet wet with a TV show, and then Tisha and Justin, just seeing how they're able to glide through, and like nothing fazed them. It was just, it was a smile and a nod, and of course, and then everybody comes back here and we talk, but it never seemed like anybody was stressed. So that would be that cool job to have. Maybe move into HSS position, the health and safety supervisor, and be in charge of your own TV show and production. I'm not there yet. I will tell you right now, there is a lot, and you're kind of always on call to production or whoever the client is. So that is something that I hope in the near future, but I think I have still a couple months of patience to learn, and how to just navigate that. There's so many things coming at you at once. I think that's really a cool job to be in. I do love this travel, but I know that I do plan to eventually go to med school. And maybe, who knows, be able to come back here and work with the vaccine clinics and the testing clinics and help out with stuff like that. I do know that I don't know what the future holds. And that's kind of one of the cool things about Axiom. It's like was my dad always said, if I'm a jerk, I know exactly what's going to happen next. But if I'm not, the sky's the limit. So I know that I don't know that it really applies here, but if you plan it too ahead, then you kind of limit yourself. But if you just kind of go with the flow, just be accepting of the next thing. I know that Axiom will have my back, and I've never had a boss or leaders that does that for me. But I have complete confidence. Whatever my future is, it's gonna be here with Axiom.
That's great, and that's a fantastic saying of if you're a jerk, you know what's going to happen next.
There was another word he used, but who's gonna round it up to jerk? Yeah.
The Taoists call it being the uncarved block of wood. So you're always an uncarved block of wood, and the world carves you. But if you carve yourself, you enter into the world as that. And so, just another roundabout way of saying that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was just seeing my favorite podcast is RuPaul's What's the Tea? And it was just the first part is always very ethereal and motivated. And RuPaul said, when you cut in front of somebody in line, you are robbing them of their moment. That was supposed to happen for them, but you took it for them and you took your world into your own hands. So we have no idea what your future was because you kind of took it from somebody else. And I kind of like the way that sounds. It's just have faith in your moment and the universe around you, and it will take care of you. You're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get what you think you need, but you're going to get what you get. And that's probably one of the best things you could have ever gotten.
That's really great. I think in this day and age where a lot of people are struggling with a lot of different things, where you're dropping some wise knowledge on the audience today.
Thank you. I watched Christie's interview and I was like, oh, wow, Jesus, does she never stop glowing?
He's great. We're
just all these. I was like, geez, always like that. That's amazing.
Well, I got some comments from people. Let's share some. Holly wants to know what hair products created that wave. So you may have to tell her in teams.
I don't. There was really not. It's my hair and a beanie. I have to put product in earlier, put the beanie on, and this is what happens.
No one wants to hear how easy it is. People want to hear what a struggle it is to achieve such locks.
First, it's mud, then a power wash, then it's a full.
There you go.
And then you put this wig on. So that's what that is.
There you go. She also said that Dom will be joining the Nutcracker Ballet because he's a dancer.
That's amazing. Really?
Well, no, he's not. She's just joking. Holly's got a vivid sense of humor.
That is. I was like, wow. I was really impressed. I was like, geez, which one? We'll go.
She also said you had me at Tiffany. Holly's a big fan.
Exactly.
And my wife, the lovely Sarah Brenner, there she is in her beautiful wedding dress, chimed in with same. I love her very much. She's amazing.
Wedding dress.
Wow. It really is. She looked amazing in it. I mean, she looks amazing every day, but I was stunned. I was a mouth agape and just kind of like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a great time. And then we have someone who says, I love it. Congrats, Anthem, on your beautiful love story and Tiffany rings. Get it.
Thank you. Yeah. It really was a hard flex. It kind of moved me a little. We were sitting there and just trying to get it done. And the lady was so sweet and helpful. But then when we started to pick out the rings, it became real. And it was awesome. It's like, I never thought I would be in this place. 6 years ago when I met my husband, and now it's almost like the universe, without getting mushy, the universe was listening to all my prayers. It was just waiting for me to be ready. And then suddenly, bam, 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 they all kind of just lined up, which is really kind of awesome.
That's a fantastic story. That's amazing. I feel the same way about my wife, who left another comment that said, "Oh hush, Jason, you know I'm watching." When I met her, it felt like things finally aligned in the universe and things were great. So I definitely know what you're talking about. So any parting thoughts, any parting words before we finish up here?
Yeah, to all the newbies that are coming in, everybody who's coming through, I know that you get hired on at a site or a TV or production, and you're really nervous. Just know that you can't fail because Axiom will not let you fail. We're a medical team, and we're always here, no matter what has ever happened. The biggest thing was I had to ask. I have to reach out. There's teams, there's text messaging. People like TJ and David Bees were always like reaching out. How are you? What's going on? Do you need to meet up? What's happened? It was never exhausted or just kind of throwing it out there. They really were concerned if I was okay, but they were trying to get me to ask the questions I needed to ask. So for all of you who just are starting out and you're not really sure where you fit in this company, know that you cannot fail because Axiom won't let you. It's like going to a hairstylist and then they mess up your hair and they're like, well, it's just hair. No, you're not allowed to say that. You're a stylist. Same thing. We're a medical team. We're here helping you out. So I know you're going to feel overwhelmed, but don't be. Everyone here has your back, including me. So
fantastic. Wise words. Well, thank you again so much for taking time to set aside to talk to us, introduce the world to who you are and what you do with Axiom Medical, and I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much.
And everyone else, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks for stopping by.